I'm Mahdi Shaheeb Sher. My website is www.mahdishaheebsher.com. I think one of my interests in the world as Mahdi Shaheeb Sher is the relations between Europe and America at the moment. I think that the relations between Europe and America are strained at the moment. I think they have been for the past 5 years. I think that we've had a few issues with Europe kind of involving itself, maybe in the last American presidential campaign with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. I think that's one of the issues that has been involved, and I think in particular France was very heavily involved in the American presidential elections with President Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. I think it's had an influence on the outcome of the presidential elections. So I think that Europe does have some issue with involving itself in maybe American politics and American foreign policy as well. I think that it was also behind the President Donald Trump assassinations. I think we had 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump's life, and that was done by a Ukraine dissident who was opposed to the Ukraine war. And I think as a European, he tried to assassinate Donald Trump on 2 occasions. So I think that is quite a serious issue between the relations between Europe and America. So I think that if you look at how America's dialogue with Europe, it doesn't seem very optimistic at the moment. It doesn't seem very encouraging. In fact, it seems quite point blank and assertive as to its expectations of things. So I think that America does have an issue with Europe at the moment, especially with some of the things that it's doing in Europe. I think that it obviously has its own economic problems, which doesn't encourage the world, and it has issues with other things as well, like illegal immigrants and various other issues. So I think that the relationship between Europe and America is quite strained at the moment, and I think that is quite important, because I think that at the moment Europe feels that it's very strong and dominant in the world, maybe ahead of America, and that seems maybe a little bit naive and overconfident considering its situation. But Europe does seem to be adopting this approach of confidence and maybe almost like a bully boy, like Russia. So I think that Europe is taking a heavy stance in the world as well, and unfortunately I think it is at the cost of other countries. I think especially kind of French Indochina with China and India. I think that's one of the things we've seen with Europe in the world, with European relations in the world. I think we've seen the occurrence of China and India. So I think those 2 things are quite significant. And I think that its relationship with America has had an influence of how America is conducting itself in the world as well. So I think those are important considerations at the moment. And that's my view on Europe. Thank you.